Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the C.R. Lawrence CRL8010S. This is what's called an S-type side-load center-hung arm for door rails, half-inch depth top rail. It is an incredibly common type arm. Side load and end load. I remember when that was first explained to me. It's very simple. You have to determine which of the two you have, and it's whether or not you engage the door and its arm to the closer, whether it's overhead concealed or floor style closer, whether you are making that connection via the end of the door or the side, meaning the face of the door. So this is a side load. So when you get this attached to your door, you're going to, if my finger is going to be the spindle, you're going to bring it to the side, not to the end. An end load arm will literally have an open preparation here where you'll feed it this way. That's a side load arm. Very typical and common. You'll take your door, place it down on your bottom pivot, and just step it into place, lean it into place. Bring your spindle into position. You've got your block. It's going to go right there. Then you're going to have some screws naturally that will get that all locked into place. Simply making sure we've got everything put together here in terms of fastener types. So let's start with some dimensional properties of the arm itself. Overall length, about 9 inch. Okay. The opening for the spindle, 0.566, and it's going to be a little bit tough to gauge that. No, we can gauge it exactly. 0.566 by 0.555, depending on how I tipped it. Okay. Overall width, about 1 5/16 inches. You can get the concept of how this will attach down to the closer itself, or to the arm of the unit itself. These holes here are used to allow you to, via these hex cap screws that are installed on opposing sides, as you adjust them in and out, you can tailor, if my hand is the inverted top channel of the door, you can tailor the cant, the positioning of the arm inside the top rail as you loosen one and tighten the other. Okay, you can see how that works. Lateral and centering adjustment. Lateral, allow you to adjust it that way. We've got some extra parts here as well. Let's take a closer look. Now, there is a link below this video to a document called Template or maybe Installation Instructions, and it will show the balance of all of the parts necessary for the arm. You've got your arm, you're going to get 3 screws and 3 funny little washers that will come with it. These countersunk star washers. That decal is covering up that third hole naturally. And I had got that right there. So 3 screws are going to go in there. There's the one I just poked the finger through. Okay. Those are going to connect, obviously, to our block to keep that mounted. You're going to have as I'm checking the rest of these parts, that washer and your bolt is going to come down through this hole into the top of the door itself. And what's interesting is you're going to have
in the 40s there.
Through the edge,
What it's about.
this will get threaded down
I'm trying to get on like that.
into your door.
I'm set up. Yeah, I'm set.
Through the edge will be access for the bolt that will then thread into the head of the bolt into the door. So according, oh, and then you're going to get your little faceplate with a couple of very small screws, and that's going to cover up the access so that should you or when you need to service the unit, you'll be able to get to the block, pull the 3 bolts out. Obviously at that point your door will start to be prepared to come out. You'll have to remove the bolt from the edge. No, actually you won't. It's just going to be that block. That is all that you'll need. Replacing the arm will require replacement of all of that. Looking at the installation instructions on page 3, they dive into detail on the top door rail S type side loading arm. They don't name these parts, but visually we can identify them. The flathead screw is going to go along with this washer.
Play Trickery Red. Play Trickery Red. Plays with orchestra.
Into here. Okay. Then through the edge with this bolt. They do show the dimension of where to drill and tap. This is going to require this funny shoulder bolt, drill and tap a 1/2 inch 13 thread into the top rail of the door. 1/4 is what this one's going to require. Down through here. And then after you get this attached to the spindle, you'll be able to draw the door this way, should you need to. You'll be able to set the centering correctly via these bolts. Very typical. Why would you buy an arm? Well, because they fatigue and fail. This piece of metal will eventually start to round out to the point where it will not really fully engage. Your door is going to have a little bit of movement before it'll start to turn. And thankfully, this material is not as... the spindle is harder than the arm itself, and that will allow you to hopefully not have to change the body. I don't see worn spindles on bodies, but replacement arms, those are pretty common to replace. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Sierra Lawrence products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the Sierra Lawrence CRL8010S and side load style arm or any other Sierra Lawrence product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.